I'm so close to rebuilding this $6 million Bugatti Chiron Persport. But there's one thing now that's really slowing us down.
A crashed $6 million Bugatti Chiron, once considered unsalvageable, is being transformed into the world's first wide-body version, without Bugatti's approval. Led by a YouTuber and his independent team, the controversial rebuild has divided hypercar fans and challenged the manufacturer's control over its rarest creations. As Bugatti reportedly restricts access to crucial parts, the team continues resurrecting and radically reshaping the car, raising serious questions about safety, creativity, exclusivity, and who truly controls a vehicle after it leaves the factory. The wide-body Chiron build begins. Matt Armstrong and his collaborator have taken on a project that no independent mechanic has dared to attempt before, a wide-body conversion on a Bugatti Chiron Persport. This isn't some simple customization or cosmetic tweak. It's a fundamental reshaping of one of the rarest hypercars ever produced. The Chiron Persport, already a track-focused and highly engineered machine, is being widened in a way that challenges Bugatti's fiercely guarded design and engineering standards. This act alone has flipped traditional car culture on its head, sparking heated debates and strong reactions from enthusiasts and the brand alike. The project stands out because it's happening publicly and without any official support from Bugatti. Armstrong's team is physically flaring the fenders and reworking the car's silhouette in a private workshop. Pushing a machine the manufacturer tried to declare beyond repair. The audacity of this build clashes directly with Bugatti's century-old narrative of exclusivity and control, making every inch of this wide-body Chiron a statement as much as a modification. What's more, no factory wide-body Chiron or licensed tuner version has ever existed. This is truly a one-of-a-kind creation. Online forums and social media have erupted since the announcement. Loyal Bugatti fans see this as near sacrilege, worried that such an extreme modification could harm the brand's legacy and alienate its elite clientele. Meanwhile, Armstrong's followers hail it as possibly the greatest independent automotive project of the decade, proof that ingenuity and passion can defy even the most stringent factory limitations. The lines are deeply drawn, and the conversation is far from settled, underscoring the project's symbolic weight beyond its physical form. Armstrong himself has acknowledged the tension with Bugatti throughout the saga, revealing a complicated relationship that teeters between respect and defiance. Past encounters have seen the manufacturer clamp down hard, but this wide-body build might be the moment where the corporate and creative worlds collide most publicly yet. The stakes couldn't be higher, with millions in value and reputation on the line. Yet Armstrong's unyielding commitment keeps moving the project forward, capturing global attention. This build isn't just about making a car look wider, it's about pushing the boundaries of ownership, control, and creativity in the hypercar world. Doing this on a machine with such a fraught history, a car already wrecked, blacklisted, and shunned by the factory, adds layers of complexity and risk. Every flange, every bulge adjusts aerodynamics and suspension behavior, turning the car into an engineering puzzle that even Bugatti's experts would approach cautiously. Armstrong and his team have embraced this challenge wholeheartedly. While the full technical story hasn't been laid out yet, the boldness of the build invites a deeper investigation into what it means for the vehicle and the brand. If Bugatti's own engineers require months of wind tunnel testing just to validate a change in bodywork, what can independent creators achieve on their own? This wide-body Chiron will be a test case like no other, potentially shifting expectations of what's possible outside of official channels. For now, the project stands as a bold assertion of independence and passion, but the true implications, technical, legal, and cultural, are still unfolding. As this story develops, it will reveal much about the evolving relationship between automotive manufacturers and the digital age influencers who shape public perception. The widebody Chiron's fate will be watched closely, not just by car lovers, but by an industry facing a new era of creative tension. With this unprecedented build underway, it's worth looking back at how this unique Chiron came to be in this extraordinary position. The crash and parts blacklist. This particular Bugatti Chiron Pour Sports story begins with a devastating crash in Miami, back in October 2025. Owned by content creator Alex Gonzalez, known as FX Alex G, the car suffered extensive front-end damage. The impact crushed the bonnet, destroyed the headlights, deployed airbags, and compromised key structural components that underpin the car's legendary performance. The repair estimate shot up to nearly $1,700,000, a staggering sum even for a vehicle worth millions. Bugatti's response was unexpected and severe. They effectively wrote off the car, declaring it structurally unsalvageable. The manufacturer placed a lock on the car's VIN in their global system, meaning no authorized dealership worldwide would supply any parts for repairs. This blacklist made it almost impossible to fix the car using official channels. For Bugatti, this was a firm statement about quality control and safety, signaling their unwillingness to let the car return to the roads under potentially compromised conditions. Most seven-figure supercars in such a state quietly disappear, either scrapped for parts or stored indefinitely. Yet, this Chiron's fate became a lightning rod. The business of luxury hypercars relies heavily on exclusivity and perfection, so Bugatti's decision sent ripples through the community. Repairing a car deemed beyond saving was never going to be a straightforward matter, especially under such a restrictive and public manufacturer stance. For Armstrong, spotting the blacklisted Chiron was a call to action. Alongside Gonzalez, he saw this as a challenge rather than a dead end. Ignoring the manufacturer's refusal, they committed to rebuilding the car themselves with no official support. This defiance set off a back and forth with Bugatti that would unfold over months, drawing in a global audience fascinated by the David and Goliath nature of the conflict. The situation exposed the tension between corporate risk management and owner determination. While Bugatti emphasized safety and integrity, Armstrong championed ownership rights and craftsmanship under pressure. Each obstacle became another chapter in an unprecedented rebuild saga, where every minor victory and setback was captured and shared openly online, breaking with the secrecy typical of such rare vehicles. At the heart of this standstill was the broader question of control. Who gets to decide the fate of these multi-million-dollar machines? Bugatti's locking of the VIN was as much about brand image as it was about safety, a protective move intended to maintain the strict standards the company is known for. This fracture between manufacturer and owner would shape the entire narrative. This parts blacklist was an extraordinary measure in the hypercar world, rarely seen with other brands, and it placed Armstrong's ambitions under a microscope. The rebuild could only succeed by bypassing or innovating around this unprecedented factory barrier, adding layers of complexity and risk that most would not dare to confront. Yet, as Armstrong pushed forward, Bugatti's CEO entered the dialogue publicly, a rare move that raised the stakes even higher. Armstrong's rebuild approach. Faced with no access to factory parts and no official support, Armstrong and his team turned to innovation and determination to revive the Chiron Pour Sport. Their approach relied heavily on advanced technologies like three-dimensional scanning and computer numerical control machining to recreate missing or damaged components. This modern precision enabled them to manufacture bespoke parts that adhered as closely as possible to the original specifications without factory involvement. The team approached the project not as a simple repair, but as a complex engineering endeavor. Every piece had to fit perfectly within the already damaged chassis, which was no small feat given the intricacies of Chiron's carbon fiber monocoque and quad-turbocharged W16 engine architecture. Armstrong's shop became a laboratory of creativity, balancing exacting technical demands with practical workarounds born from necessity. Natural improvisation played a surprising role in keeping the project afloat. For example, when official Bugatti airbags were impossible to obtain, Armstrong's group discovered that airbags designed for an Audi A3 could be adapted successfully. Similarly, unconventional fixes, such as substituting a coolant pipe with a rigid brake hose, highlighted how the team blended ingenuity with mechanical know-how under extreme constraints. Splitting and rejoining the modular chassis, a task Bugatti claimed was only feasible in its most specialized facilities, was among the key challenges Armstrong overcame. This bold move allowed access to the internal transmission, proving their capability to tackle what was said to be near impossible outside the factory environment. Each step forward defied assumptions about the limits of independent repair on a car of this caliber. Armstrong's willingness to document both successes and setbacks has been a major factor in public engagement. Unlike secretive luxury rebuilds, his transparent updates laid bare the real risks and mistakes encountered along the way. Mistakes such as damaging a fuel tank pressure sensor or worrying over apparent cracks were openly shared with millions, adding a human dimension to a project often viewed as the domain of untouchable elitism. The hallmark moment came when the engine roared back to life for the first time since the crash. Witnesses described it as a resounding validation of Armstrong's team, turning skeptics into believers. It was a sound that symbolized not only mechanical triumph, but a defiance of the narrative Bugatti tried to enforce. Despite every obstacle, including a parts blacklist, warnings about safety, and immense financial pressure, Armstrong's rebuild marches on. Their technical creativity now sets the stage for the most controversial act yet, the wide-body transformation that boldly reframes this remarkable journey. This daring move puts the entire story into a new light, raising questions about ownership, innovation, and the future of hypercar culture. Matt Armstrong's extraordinary build blurs the lines between repair and reinvention, magnifying a clash between tradition and modern car culture that few would have predicted could take center stage in the world of hypercars. Bugatti's leadership response. Bugatti's reaction to Matt Armstrong's wide-body Chiron build has been swift and unmistakably firm, reflecting the brand's commitment to protecting its meticulously crafted image. Mate Rimac, Bugatti's CEO, personally followed the unfolding saga, a rarity in an industry where executives usually remain behind closed doors during customer disputes. His direct involvement underscored how seriously Bugatti views this challenge, not just as a mechanical issue, but as a threat to its authority over one of the world's most exclusive hypercars. Rimac took to social media and public forums to correct misinformation, particularly debunking rumors about unauthorized 3D printed parts or inflated repair costs. At the same time, he offered a version of an olive branch. The Chiron could be brought to Bugatti's factory in Molsheim for a proper repair. However, this invitation came with a staggering repair estimate of nearly $1,700,000, a price which effectively ensured that many would view it as a polite but prohibitive dismissal, rather than genuine support. Beyond formal statements, Bugatti's leadership coordinated internal actions like placing a parts blacklist on the car, firmly blocking access to official components worldwide. This move sent an unambiguous message. Despite the owner's desire to restore the vehicle, Bugatti controls what parts enter its cars and who may undertake repairs. Such control has long helped the brand maintain its aura of perfection and reliability, but it also reveals the limits placed on ownership beyond the initial purchase. Bugatti's concern doesn't rest solely on physical repairs, but carries a heavy weight of brand stewardship. Every Chiron is the result of painstaking engineering and quality control designed to deliver a flawless experience. The idea of an independently modified wide-body version disrupts this narrative and risks introducing unpredictability into performance and safety standards carefully managed at the factory level. The CEO's involvement highlights a deeper tension surfacing in luxury car manufacturing. Traditional control models are increasingly challenged by empowered owners and digital influencers willing to defy established norms. Bugatti's rapid public responses demonstrate not only a desire to protect product integrity, but also to contain a story that could tarnish the brand's carefully built prestige. At the same time, Rimaac's personal engagement signals that Bugatti is learning to navigate this new ecosystem of accountability, where silence is no longer an option. Instead of ignoring Armstrong, Bugatti chose to engage directly, sometimes correcting the narrative, sometimes asserting boundaries, showing a nuanced balance between offense and containment in dealing with this unprecedented situation. While many saw Bugatti's moves as defensive, others interpreted the swift action as a testament to the company's seriousness about safety and craftsmanship. It is a complex dance between protecting engineering standards and responding to a public spectacle set by an influencer with a global audience. This response suggests that Bugatti recognizes the gravity of the moment and the need to maintain credibility on multiple fronts. As Bugatti asserts its position, the growing debate around Armstrong's project takes shape, drawing intense reactions from a divided community deeply invested in both the brand's legacy and the spirit of independent innovation. The passion on either side feeds into a broader cultural conflict between tradition and transformation, setting the stage for a heated public discourse that extends far beyond this single wide-body Chiron. Community division and debate. The ripple effects of Armstrong's wide-body Chiron project and Bugatti's reaction ignited a fierce split within the automotive community, with passionate voices on both sides fiercely defending their views. Among longtime Bugatti enthusiasts, there is a strong wave of concern rooted in loyalty and reverence for the brand's heritage. Many feel that modifying a Chiron pour sport, especially one already deemed structurally compromised, without factory oversight risks undermining the very excellence and exclusivity that defines Bugatti's identity. These traditionalists often frame the wide-body conversion as recklessness disguised as spectacle, worried that such changes could invite safety issues or damage the brand's timeless image. To them, Bugatti's protective measures and VIN blacklist are not harassment, but necessary actions to safeguard engineering precision. This camp argues that it is reasonable for the manufacturer to control how its vehicles are repaired and altered, given the stakes involved. On the other side are fans and followers of Armstrong who admire the audacity and technical mastery behind this audacious project. They see the wide-body as a bold demonstration of independent ingenuity, challenging a luxury powerhouse's monopoly on its creations. To them, Armstrong and FX LXG embody an underdog spirit, refusing to let a multi-million-dollar car be abandoned simply because it no longer fits the factory's mold. For this audience, the build represents a redefinition of ownership, where passion and creativity take precedence over rigid brand restrictions. They celebrate the use of 3D scanning, CNC machining, and out-of-the-box fixes as evidence that limits are there to be pushed. The rebuild's transparency, documented step by step for millions to witness, adds authenticity that many traditional corporate-controlled restorations lack. This division goes beyond simple brand loyalty and touches core questions about the evolving nature of automotive culture in the internet age. Social media platforms and forums have erupted into battlegrounds where heated arguments over authenticity, respect, and innovation unfold in real time. the debate often becomes a litmus test for larger values: tradition versus disruption, secrecy versus transparency, exclusivity versus democratization. Some industry insiders sympathize with both positions, recognizing the validity in Bugatti's emphasis on uncompromising standards and in Armstrong's pursuit of preservation and reinvention. They highlight that the situation exemplifies a growing challenge luxury automakers face: how to maintain control while respecting empowered owners who wish to make their mark. This balancing act defines a cultural shift occurring across the automotive world. The comments and discussions reveal compelling insights into how brand perception is no longer shaped solely by marketing, but also by active, vocal communities and influencer-driven storytelling. This wide-body project has become a flashpoint, illustrating how fan engagement can sway narrative and pressure even the most elite manufacturers to respond and adapt. Ultimately, this divide underscores a fundamental tension in luxury car culture today. As technology and social media elevate independent voices, controlling a brand's story grows more difficult. Armstrong's project has ignited a symbolic clash, but it also signals a new chapter in how cars, creators, and companies interact in the digital era. When two worlds collide this dramatically, the fallout reshapes not only this one build, but the future dynamics of automotive innovation and ownership. The future of the build and brand. As Armstrong's widebody Chiron nears completion, its impact reaches far beyond a single custom build. The project represents a major shift in how luxury automakers deal with independent owners and influential creators who can challenge factory authority before a global audience. The car now exists between two identities, part original Bugatti engineering and part radical custom creation. Its unofficial status could affect its resale value, warranty coverage, collector appeal, and recognition within the hypercar community. For Bugatti, the project creates a difficult balance. Strict modification rules help protect safety, exclusivity, and brand prestige. However, Armstrong's growing audience shows that manufacturers can no longer fully control the story surrounding their vehicles. The more progress his team makes, the more the car becomes a symbol of independent craftsmanship. For Armstrong, the build is a statement about ownership freedom, creativity, and technical ability. Its success could inspire other collectors to rebuild or modify restricted vehicles outside official factory programs. The project also highlights the growing influence of digital creators in the automotive industry. Their reach can shape public opinion faster than traditional media, forcing luxury brands to become more open, responsive, and flexible. Bugatti's next move, whether confrontation, collaboration, or compromise, could influence how other manufacturers approach customization and after-sales support. Ultimately, the widebody Chiron raises a larger question. Does owning a hypercar mean preserving it exactly as intended, or having the freedom to reinvent it? The answer may help define the future of luxury car culture. Matt Armstrong's widebody Bugatti Chiron isn't just a rebuild, it's a revolution in hypercar ownership and storytelling. This saga reveals how tradition and innovation collide in ways that will shape the future of luxury cars. If you want to stay on top of this evolving story and others like it, make sure to like this video and subscribe for all the latest updates.